Hi, good evening. I would like to interview my friends from the Chaldean Church and whose native language is Surat or East Syriac Aramaic, which in Malayalam is Suryani, East Suryani Aramaic. And this is a part of Aramaic project and which is associated with Christian Theological Society, which was actually found by Dr. Joseph J. Palekal. He's a Kasha or a priest. He's a CMI priest from Kerala. Right now he's in the Catholic Church in Queens, New York. I'm basically assisting him in his project. For tomorrow, our friends and their friends, everyone can watch it and understand the importance of the language, the song, the liturgy associated with the East Syriac. So, hi everyone. Hi. As I said in this introduction, the main purpose of this is as a part of the Aramaic project. So, are you okay with showing this video on the YouTube, or as well as uploading it on YouTube? Okay,
yes.
Thank you. And first of all, if you don't mind, can you just give me a name? And if you know from which part of Iraq your ancestors belong to, if you know. I know you all guys are come from Michigan and you're all sitting in Michigan, that's okay.
Chris Salem, my dad's from Tekepa and my mom's from Akwash.
My name is Ranna Abro, and my mom and dad are both from Tekepa, and before that they lived in Turkey, Hakkari.
My name is Evette Shahra. My father is from the village of Alqosh and my mother is from the village of Mangesha.
Alright, thank you. So, the main purpose of this interview is actually the Surat or the East Syriac Aramaic is your mother tongue that your ancestors spoke this language. Even if you had Arabic, but you still preserve this language. The most interesting thing about this language is this East Syriac language is still being spoken in India and in the form of the liturgy. Not as like a language you speak in everyday life, no, we speak in Malayalam, but still we use in the liturgy, even though now we use very less, we use a form of words, but we used to have the Suryani Kurbana, which is Kurbana is same thing as you guys have. And the reason I'm interviewing you this is that because we speak the same language and we have a tie between Iraq, Iran or the Church of the East and also the people of the Malabar. So that tie that belongs all the way before the time of Christ, since the time of Jewish exiles. And in the time of Christianity, the St. Thomas came over here and we were baptized and we became Christians. And still we preserve the language and somehow we got a connection with the people from Iraq or from the Persia or Iraq, and those as a form of traders, they came over there. So we saved this language and now we are happy to have you, to talk to you, knowing that you guys speak the same language and we have the same liturgy. The Chaldean Catholic Church and the Syro Malabar Church follows the same liturgy of Mar Addai and Mar Mari. At the same time, you also follow the same liturgy of Mar Nestorius and Mar Theodore, depending upon the seasons. And both of us churches have 9 seasons, and tomorrow is December 1st, we are going to the new season of Subara, which is the season of Annunciation. And I know that you all three speak Chaldean and understand Chaldean, which is Surat, to some extent.
Yes.
Do you know any Surat hymn or liturgical music or hymn which you can sing whenever you get a free time, some song comes in your heart that you like to sing?
Okay, so Pagre damshiha wadme yaqira al madbah qutcha ذاحثة وراحنثة كولا نذقارولي وعما لخن يبولي قديش مريا الله.
Wow, fantastic, yes. Because when I went to the St. George Chaldean Church for Holy Kurbana, sometimes I go for Sundays, this is the exact same tune the choir sings.
Yeah.
So even though when I say there is a small connection between these tunes, but I'm not that much proficient with this. But still I know there is a connection with these tunes. The words are exact same, no difference. So that means this is a clear example that we share the same liturgy. So This is one of the examples of it, just one of the small examples.
I was surprised by how similar the words are.
Oh yeah,
it's just a different tune, same words.
The words are same, yes. So what about you? You know any hymns or anything?
No.
I'll tell you what. How about if we split this question, because I have a song,
Sure.
but I don't know all the words to it. I just love the story behind it. Maybe she can do the words.
Yeah, sure.
It's La Khumara.
La Humana.
Yeah.
Oh, La Kumara Kullan. It's
Yeah.
hymn of resurrection.
So the reason why I wanted to bring that one specifically up is because the story behind it is tragic but inspiring at the same time. What I mean by that specifically is that there was a whole lineup of clergy, our clergy, and this was in the middle of a genocide that was going on.
Yes.
So there was a whole lineup of our clergymen, and they were all getting killed one by one. And as each of them were getting killed one by one, what they did to kind of separate their emotions from their intelligence and just stay focused on Jesus is they just kind of started singing. So even though each one was getting killed one by one, they sang this song, La Fumada, and it just kind of got them through that pain, that suffering, that torture in the last moments of their life. And that's why it's inspiring to me, because despite everything that was going on around them, they still stayed focused. They still, like, to them, it was still just them and Jesus, and that's it.
Yes.
خمارت كل مودنا نولاخ إيشو عمشي حمشب حينان دتم نحماند بغرين وتو باروق نوشاثان شو حالا ولورا والروح قدشة من عالم وعدم العالم آمين وآمين لا خمارت كل مودنا نولاخ إيشو عمشي حمشب حينان دتم نحماند بغرين وتو باروق نوشاثان هيا هيا نصلي شلام عما.
You're right, because I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's a Catholicos for you, the Patriarch Simon Barshaba. Simon Barshaba was actually martyred. So in remembrance of Simon Barshaba,
Yeah.
so in remembrance of him and his followers, we observe the commemoration of the dead.
No way.
The Martyrs' Day, because we don't observe the same day as the Latins observe, which is November 2nd for the Latin Church. But such a feast like you and us, we observe another day.
After Easter.
Yes.
April 23rd,
Yes,
24th, something.
because the reason is that one of the reason is this because observe Simon Barshaba's martyrdom.
Wow.
So this La Kumara, I don't know, was that before Simon Barshaba? I'm not 100% sure it was before or not. But one thing is sure, it says we believe in the resurrection of the Christ. If Jesus or Isha Mashiach did not resurrect, we cannot believe in this religion. We cannot stay in this religion.
Yeah.
So that's the hymn of resurrection says our love for resurrection, our belief in the faith in the resurrection of our Lord Isha Mashiach. So I know that you teach Suryani or Surat.
Surat, yes.
Can you give me a small talk about that? What you do or what you teach?
Yes, so for the seminarians in Michigan who are currently studying to become priests, many of them don't know how to speak the language, or they have a very, very basic foundation of it. So what I try to do is go in there and help them kind of build on their vocab, enrich their vocabulary, and then sometimes I'll partner them up with someone who's a fluent speaker to give them an opportunity to apply what they're learning so that they can develop their speaking proficiency, so that once they're actually done and ordained as priests, they can communicate with the parishioners.
Okay, good. So can you tell me something about the Shalama Foundation? So for me, I know about Shalama Foundation working for the persecuted Christians in Iraq, helping the families to build up, helping up the villages to come up, helping up our brothers and sisters to come back together, living with peace and with also fraternity.
Shalama's main mission is connecting the diaspora with the homeland. And we believe by doing that we can get more accomplished, because really we feel like the only difference between us and the people back home is that a lot of us were lucky enough to move here or to be born here. And that whole idea of Shlama is that geography should not be a limit to us. We should be able to help each other no matter what the degree of separation is. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. We're connecting the diaspora with the homeland, and then she can touch on that a little bit more if you want.
Some of the type of work that we do is mostly we started doing emergency response after ISIS advanced in northern Iraq. And after that, we were able, when things stabilized, we were able to do a lot more development work, like with education and youth activities and fixing electricity and water and cultural preservation, such as the language and the other traditions of our culture. So now that things are a little bit more stable after ISIS, we're able to go and do some more bigger long-term projects and develop our community and try to save our traditions.
So in other words, because of ISIS, we went from a focus of nice to have to need to have. So in other words, we went from some of the extra things in life to some of the necessities of life. People didn't have food, they didn't have water, they didn't have homes, they didn't have places to live. It was a miserable situation, and Shlama wasn't created for that. But it became that. It became that because there is a need for it. And then now things are slowly recovering, it's getting a little bit better, so we're starting to focus on other stuff too, like culture and other things like that. But that's kind of it in a nutshell.
Also, Shalom means peace in Eastern Aramaic.
Yeah.
Yes, Shalama, Shalama. Shalama Lokon, which
Yes.
means...
Shalom.
What is the reason that you love to speak Surat or Aramaic in your home, even if you have Arabic, even if you have English? This is the United States, so English is the primary language of the people. And also, you have Arabic too. For us, it's like English and Malayalam. We don't speak Aramaic, but you speak it, preserve it. Can you tell me what is the reason that makes you to stick with this language?
I mean, number one, it's part of my identity.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, it's part of my religion. Those two things mean probably the most to me in life. So the language is connecting the two things that mean the most to me in my life, to the point where I have so much passion for it, I literally put it on my body.
Oh,
And a tattoo.
see, that's Surat, right?
Surat, yeah.
So do you know it's that cross prayer or
This
what?
is,
You know?
yeah, Awan Diyashmeya.
Oh, and the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
So, I mean, even besides that, the importance of it is that the liturgy that we practice, and really a lot of Christianity, a lot of the old ancient texts, it originated with Aramaic language. Aramaic was one of the predominant languages in the region. So if you want to get to the closest source of truth, that's the way to do it. There's been a lot of translations and a lot of translations on top of translations where things just get lost in translation. That's been an issue because sometimes there are certain things that in the Bible that just don't make 100% sense. And you ask a priest about it, and sometimes you don't get an answer that sits well with you 100%. So really the only way to know the truth 100%, to make sure that it has been misinterpreted one way or another, is to get to the original source. How do you get to the original source of the language? You have to know Aramaic. That's the only way. So that's why it's important. If you're religious, it's important to know Aramaic. Simple as that.
Yes. Because when I went to St. George Church, or any Chaldean church, when I had the Kurbanas, the good thing about this thing you did to the Kurbana is you did not forget to use the Aramaic hymn or Isric hymn, like La Kumara, Hymn of Resurrection, or Kandisha Allaha, to say you. So those songs you're still singing in the Aramaic language or Eastern language. Even sometimes you pray the Our Father, Awun Shmaya, in the same language. Yeah. So something that maybe many of our churches can copy the same thing. This is a good example for church. I think some of the churches uses in Syro Malabar, but not all the churches. But I prefer to use that. I hope there will be a day that we will be more proficient in this language. Our generation will see the example from your generation and follow it.
It could be one prayer at a time.
Yeah?
Oh yes.
Change
yes.
one prayer in the book. and
Yes, you're right.
next time
One
around-
prayer in the book.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
yes,
a great
yes.
idea.
I'll pray. I'll be definitely praying that our bishops and patriarch, maybe our archbishop, they will be making a fine decision after the synod. Maybe who knows? It's all Lord's plan. We'll wait.
Yes.
What is the future of this language? Maybe after 20 years. Maybe after your kids come in. Do you think positive that this language will be kept? I know you guys keep this language, so I am confident that this language will live. It will not be dead. But what do you think after 20 years? What will be the future of this language?
So I think there are two different things to take into consideration when you talk about the preservation of the language. One, you have to look at how many of our people exist in the homeland, because they're really the source of preserving the language and speaking the language. So as long as we have a decent population of our people in the homeland thriving, prospering, I think our language will live on a little longer. And I think the second greatest challenge is the Aramaic speakers in the diaspora, because they usually live in a country where they're forced to assimilate and speak the dominant language. So for us in America, it's English, and for our Aramaic speaking friends in Germany, it's German, and France, it's French. So it's really just making sure that it's preserved within the home and transmitted from our generation to the younger generation. And I think one of the things that we struggle with the most when it comes to preserving the language is our parents lived back home. For the most part, our generation, our parents lived back home where they spoke the language in its original environment. And when they came here, they basically relied on us to be able to do things for them in English. And they didn't feel the need to as much, learn the language. And we had to learn our native tongue. There's no way around it. But now that we're much older and English is the dominant language in the country and in most homes, for our parents it was effortless to pass the language down. For us, it's a greater challenge because we have to go out of our way to make an effort to make sure that we're speaking it to our kids and making sure that they understand it's more important to be able to speak our language and not just conform and speak English. So in 20 years, obviously I'm optimistic that it will still be spoken. I don't know if we'd still have the same number of speakers, but there are so many initiatives out there to try to preserve the language. Yeah, Betkanu does a lot of great things. Rinyo does a lot of great things. They come up with these videos in different, like in the Eastern and Western dialects for children, so that they're exposed to them at a very young age in an effort to preserve the language.
Yes, the cartoon that you said, what is the name of that?
There are two different
East
organizations. Yeah, Betkanu.
East and West.
So I remember that because those ones have those basic alphabets teaching the children like Allah, Bet,
Yes.
right? So that's very, I like that. And also they have so many nursery rhymes. Then recently I heard a lullaby song, that lullaby song is 150 years old.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So that's very good, I like that.
Yeah.
So see, these people still remember 150-year-old. It doesn't even matter it's liturgical or not. But still that language, or that thing you're still practicing. Do you know or any nursery rhymes? Because if I remember it, there is what do you call a grandfather in Surat?
Sawa?
So there is a 5-finger song that I forgot what is it. Sauda
Baba Subba Eke. Yeah, it's taken from English and then they translated it.
So can you sing 2 lines of that? That's much more. You just said that. Yeah.
It goes Baba Subba Eke wet. Achewen, dechiwat. Then it flips to the mother. Mama sabba, ekewat. Achewen, dechiwat. Then it goes to the grandparents and then the children. Yeah.
Okay, so what is the meaning of that first two, the ones you sang about the father and the mother in English? What is the meaning?
So Baba sabba, father finger, where are you? Okay. And then he says, here I am, how do you do?
Good. So the other one is mother finger.
Mother finger, yeah.
Where are you? Okay. Here I am, how do you do?
Yes.
Because my daughter Mariana sings it very well in English.
Oh, really?
Even though I would like to teach her in Surat.
Yeah.
Or in Aramaic, maybe when she has the learning capacity to learn it.
Evette just puts those videos on repeat.
All the time. I have a playlist for my son, all in Surat, and I just have him listen to it, and he'll always want like Bob the Train or something else. No, we do Surah. Like today we're gonna watch the Surah videos, and I'll play the playlist, and I'll try to have a fit, and then after like 3 minutes he's singing along, and he forgot what he was putting up a fight for.
The good thing about that is she figured out an effortless way to teach her son Surah. Because of all this content that's out there, you just put it on, let the kid watch it, because it's entertaining too, it's high quality content.
See, the thing is, a kid's brain, and when they're growing up, they learn very fast, especially if it's an action song.
Yeah, I want to add that we need more content.
Yes.
So if there's people out there who are skilled in animation and things like that, and developing maybe even movies that are educational, and having you know, like subtitles maybe in Malayalam or English, so that people can watch and learn the language over and over again. That's, you know, get them from every age. So right now, those videos we're talking about, they're only for like toddlers. So what do you do next? How about middle school, elementary school, teens? So
the point is, we want more content.
We want more content for us who are not living in our homeland.
So if anybody's listening that wants to help, please reach out to us.
Yes, you're right. I know that there are so many of the Chaldean churches, they have the adult teaching programs, like Surah teaching. I've seen kids from the age of 6 or 7 years old till the 60-year-old people are coming there to learn that the language, the scripts. And I was one of the students, and even I got the basic classes regarding the alphabets, how to read it. But I really like it. Now I don't get time to go for it, but otherwise I would have completed it. But still I'm a student, still learning.
Yeah.
But we all are students, right? So that's a good thing that you shared how it is being taught. Also, I know that you are working on some sort of project regarding the development.
So I'm working on a project with it's like a partnership with a couple of other organizations to create. It's called a learning management system, where basically we're going to kind of institutionalize the language for K through 12. Kindergarten through 12th grade at a charter school here. And it's basically developing a language software system where it's easy to learn the language and fun for kids. So it's supposed to be for someone who can start, because when it comes to language learning, it's not specific to any age. It's based on your proficiency level. So basically we would start off at a beginner's level and then slowly build from there, so that they can at least get to the point where they're proficient at the intermediate level.
So is this like a certification course? You can take it online, or?
So we're gonna do it at a school first, pilot at a school, and see how it goes, and then fix whatever kinks we need to, tweak things so that it's something we can build on to target a wider range of people, and then from there it'd be released to the general public.
So is there a plan, is there any way that you can introduce this language in public schools? Like, is this a part of that program, so that in future public schools can use as an optional? Yeah,
that would be a goal. You know, first we want to do it at the school, the
private schools.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then hopefully other people will feel the need to introduce like what's considered a less commonly spoken language as a part of their curriculum, because it is like an endangered language and it's considered less commonly spoken.
Yes, and I know that Auckland University has a program with Aramaic language. Is that correct?
No, they don't. Rochester College they teach the classical language. Classical
Is that a part of some, like, is that a community college, or is that a
It's a private
university?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That's good. So you can basically take the credits for learning this language, right?
Yeah, for classical.
For classical learning. Yeah. Okay. And the name of that server, the professor is?
James Walters.
James Walters.
Yes.
Okay. So the thing is that in our college in India, we have the same thing, because my grandfather, he actually knows Surah to read and write, because he took it as a second language. So we have to learn 2 languages when you go to senior school.
So it's available in Canada?
Still now, I don't know, they really introduced it back, but we used to have it before. So it's like after Malayalam, or English, you can take a second language to learn. You can take, some people take French. We used to have French long before. Like that we can take Suryani. So my grandfather learned Suryani because we get a good score in that.
So you have curriculum at high levels?
Yes, they used to have. I don't know the curriculum now, but yes, they had it. But I'm still trying to get the materials from them.
Okay.
what the plan is in school. I know that they're introducing seminaries. Many of the seminaries they're teaching
Yes.
it back.
Yes.
You didn't have it, but once we had a seminary that is full of Suryani only. But now we're going back to get this language back.
Well, also don't forget about the Committee for Aramaic Revival in Israel too.
Oh yeah.
So there's a lot of people working towards reviving the language.
Yeah, I know that there's one of the friend came from Israel saying that talking about the second language of the Jews, which is the Syrian language or the Aramaic.
Yeah.
And that's a very good initiative, and you guys worked with them regarding that. It's very good, and I'm very happy that you guys promote this language, and we all are from same taste. And I also personally want to promote this language. So even though I don't speak at home,
Mutual. The feeling's 100% mutual.
Anyways, so thank you for this short interview. So I'm happy that I was able to get good info regarding this language, the sacred language spoken by Isha Mashiach.
Thank you for inviting us.
Oh yeah, no problem. So as a conclusion, can we all pray our Father in our own Surat language or Aramaic language?
Yes.
So right. So
Classical or new?
your language, Chaldean is fine. Because the thing is that when I say, I will be using the classical pronunciation because I don't know the other pronunciation.
Okay.
So,
Shemel Baba, Brona, Shahra, Amin. Baba, Dile, Bishmeya, Haish, Khosh, Shemoch, Athia, Malkuth, Hawe, Ajbonach, Dile, Bishmeya, Hawe, Hamara, Hella, Nochma, Sabhan, Lidu, Shok, Pala, Dana, Liathan, Dogla, Ishuk, Ta'ala, Dum Ta'adila, Lama Biritam Jaraba, Illam Khalisan Isha, سبب ديوخ إلى ملكوته حيلو تشبحت العالم آمين آمين شو بابا برونا
When you say praises to Isha Mashiach, praises to Lord Jesus Christ, Tashbahata. Tashbahata is
Oh,
Tashbahata is praising too.
I'm so focused on what you're saying. It's throwing off my
Yeah, Tashbahata. So Tashbahata is the real term. Sometimes it's shortened. So I think that's the way you say it.
تشبحت
When the Qurbana starts, priest says Tashbahata.
Yeah.
تعالها بمرومي
Tashbahata Allah Bamrome. Tashbahata Allah Bamrome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. Thank you.
Interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having